Tim from LureAddicts.com. Just want to run through quickly a product which Wes and myself became really familiar with when we went over to New Zealand kayak fishing for snapper on soft plastics, and that's the TT Lures HeadlockZ Jigheads. Now, fundamentally going to be exactly the same as a lot of the other products out there, but there's a small design difference in these, in that the plastic keeper has been separated from the head of the jig head and moved down the shank of the hook a little bit, and what this is going to do is create a point where the soft plastic's going to come over the top of it. It's going to enclose down to the diameter of the shaft of the hook, and you'll find that it's going to retain onto the jig head a lot longer than what you'll find on a lot of the other jig heads. Something like the Z-Mans. Now, I know everyone has probably seen how durable these things are, and obviously this is just going back into its shape again. And what we'll do, obviously, just thread it through, try and get it as close, but I'll be quick. And you'll find with a lot of the other jig heads, they're trying to get a Z-Man to get onto the jig head in the first place and stay on there can be a little bit difficult. But on the headlock, nice and simple, and then you can see here I'm giving this a good stretch, and that's not coming away from the jig head at all. Other products, your gulps, I find they work really, really well in that I've had them been out snapper fishing for them. You get your leather jackets biting the tails off your plastics, and once your plastic's on there, I find them pretty hard to get off. You lose your tail, you try and pull it off, and you end up having to grab a knife or something like that to actually cut it off. But giving that a good pull, and that's only just starting to come away, but that's still retaining on there. And then obviously you got your squidgies as well. What I find is the squidgies are actually a little bit harder to get on the hook, but once they're on there, and you start pulling on them a little bit, you'll find that the plastic will probably tear before it starts to give way at the head there. So if I start pulling that, that's pulling apart, and it just destroys the plastic. So well worth having a look at if you're finding that you are getting a bit of slippage with your plastics on your jig heads. And we've got no affiliation with TT, we're using the product and found it really useful, and hopefully you guys do too.